Hej igen, vi är här i Katowice och vi står här med ROCCATs midlaner Nukeduck. Hi Nukeduck.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going great here.
Yeah.
All the Polish fans of Katowice.
A lot of Polish fans then?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay then, so if we just start off with you, I guess LCS would be the most logical place to start overall because when you joined ROCCAT, it seemed like this ROCCAT team would be had the potential to become like a dream team since they they always finished top 4 in both of the splits they were in previously, and then with the addition of you, people saw like, oh wow, this is something that they need and they can excel even more, but like it hasn't really gone your way in the LCS so far. Can you talk about that a bit?
Well, yeah, we expected to do better as well coming into the LCS, but like our practice in the first weeks were kind of bad. Like we focused on the wrong things. Like instead of focusing on how we should be playing, we were just kind of looking at our own replays for a long time and trying to find our mistakes rather than like the best way of playing. And it hurt us kind of. And some of the other teams had like some things they picked up from Korea with some lane swaps. And well, basically now in the last 2 weeks we started practicing like how we actually should be practicing, and it's going way better now. So I think the team, like everyone expected to see, might come soon.
Obviously, then you were also like the focus of a lot of attention because it was kind of similar to like when Forgiven, when he got back to the split, people had always hyped him up, during the time when he wasn't in the split. Like, oh, he is really good. He was just held back by his team. Like in the same sense, when you obviously weren't able to play, people still thought like he was like one of the best mid laners in EU. And when he comes back now and he has a team that can carry him individually too, he's going to shine through. Do you feel like is it like you said that it's just the entire team you not focusing on the right things, or do you feel like maybe like the rest of you caught up to you in comparison when you were dominant in season 3?
I mean, season 3 is a long time ago, and people were really bad back then compared to now. But it's like I haven't played that well individually, but we had like it's like when you don't have like the feeling that or the trust that you can win or your strategy as well, and it kind of ruins your mindset a little bit. And I had kind of that problem in some of the weeks. But I don't think I'm way better than anyone else. I think I can like play with the top at least. So yeah, maybe I was a bit overhyped. I actually don't got like the hype at all. Like I was playing on season 4 like on challenger tournaments and stuff, and I was actually playing pretty well. But like I don't actually understand why I got so much hype. It was like season 3 was like really long time ago. Like Snoopy was good in season 3. Yellow Pete, like everyone, like I don't know, people were really bad back then.
Yeah. Do you think that may have been like since Assassins were so favored back in the day and they always promoted flashy play, and you obviously just seem to have this, this air of just superiority when you could just go in with the characters like Talon and stuff like that, just really outplay players in lane. Like, do you think that maybe made you like hyped you up a lot?
Well, right now people are like way better, so you cannot just you can still like outplay people and take advantage in lane, but it's way harder now. Like people, they don't randomly die to your damage like if they see you, and well, the assassins are still favored too, so I play some of them a lot, but I don't know, people are better now. It's hard to just like dominate the game alone, so it's way more of a team game right now, so that's like what we are mainly focusing on.
I mean, obviously then, how does it work then playing as a team, since obviously the other 4 players are Polish and you are Norwegian, so I'm assuming like, do they switch between Polish and English? Do they just speak English? Like, how do you communicate with them? Do they call around you? Do you say a lot?
We strictly communicate in English. Like our coach and manager are like really clear that we should only be talking English, and yeah, like the communication is fine. They all know really well English. Like they speak English as good as me. So like communication is fine like that.
Yeah. So obviously, if we go back to the LCS, you're now tied with Elements for 8th place.
For 7th, I think.
And you have to win your last remaining games in order to reach the playoffs. How do you look forward to that? Like, do you feel like it's still possible?
Yeah, I definitely feel it's still possible. We like with 4 wins, we are almost guaranteed playoffs, and with 3 wins, we have like a chance, like a decent chance, like maybe 40%. So, and we also have like we play with MIM and Giants, 2 bottom teams. Also play against CW and Fnatic. So I think it's doable. like the hardest match is obviously going to be Fnatic. That's the first match we're playing now on Thursday. But I think it's possible for us, and we're working really hard towards it.
How do you feel on the topic of Fnatic then, since no one gave them a shot? You know, fans didn't really give them a shot before the LCS started, and they obviously they've like been second ever since the season started. How do you like feel against playing against them, like someone like Febiven, who obviously is like come into his own really now against the top talent? Like, what makes Fnatic so special?
I think like what makes Fnatic special is like their strategical mindset is really well. It's really good rather, and Huni and Febiven is playing really well. Reignover is also doing well in. Like they're all playing really good basically, and I don't understand why people thought they would be bad. Like most of the pro players realized that this team was going to be pretty good. Like it was just the fans that were like unhappy about losing Xpecca and stuff like this. I think that was like hyping them down.
Yeah. And then, like, I guess one of the biggest shocks is obviously that Elements, even after they picked up Reckless, they found themselves in a situation now where they might not even make playoffs, even as, you know, reigning champions. I mean, how do you look at the entire Element situation and how they've switched out players now as well during the split?
I think like switching support was like definitely the right choice for them, but I don't know, they seem to lack like having that little extra. Like they usually were winning based on just playing like solid, and then hoping the enemy doesn't play like as solid strategically, right? But now as everyone has like a decent grasp on strategy, they don't really have that ability to like make the edge, you know, over the other team if they're playing like even.
Yeah. I mean, so do you see them going to playoffs, or do you think that they'll like, you know, they have to fight through relegation?
I think they're not going to playoffs. They have an extremely hard schedule going into next week. They play H2K and Gambit, the two like hottest teams in Europe right now. They've won like 90% at least of the last 10 matches maybe.
Yeah.
And they're also playing against Fnatic. So I think that Elements is going to go to relegations this split, but I think they're going to be able to make it through the relegations pretty easily though.
If we just look at the tournament itself, where we're at, I mean, obviously Europe is out already in the groups, and that was a pretty big surprise for most of us, especially with SK losing to the Yowie Flash Wolves. I mean, how do you take the tournament results seriously, or do you think that LCS is still what matters most to these teams?
They practice for IM surely. I mean Gambit. They played against like CJ and who?
World Elite.
World Elite. Yeah. I think Gambit is still a really strong team. They just had a bad performance, and same for SK. Honestly, they kind of just flopped. I think they're both really strong teams, and they will do fine or good on the LCS.
Okay, so I don't really have much more to add. So any final words or anything?
Yeah, I want to thank ROCCAT, all the Polish fans that are coming out to Katowice, and all the sponsors for ROCCAT.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.